pressure. Just going to check to see if everything's working okay. I can't believe I'm really trying this, but I guess we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure if the music's too loud. Sounds a little bit distorted. Okay, that's fine. So, it still sounds a bit distorted. That might be a bit better. Okay, so basically this is episode 0 of the Levelution podcast, and well, that's a great start. Well, basically I wanted to do, it's been one of my ambitions to do a podcast like this, stream it and whatever for a little while, and I thought, you know, it's New Year's Eve, it's still 8 PM Greenwich time, and why not? Why not just have an episode 0 when everybody is going to be out partying and what have you? Me, I kind of like a more sort of relaxed end to the new year, but I don't mind. So I just I thought, why not just do the first episode now, throw it out, and then see what happens. So and it's a good chance to sort of talk about, like, basically what I'm doing on Twitch or any other places. And I'd just like to give I know I've got absolutely no sort of traction, but I'm really happy that Restream exists so that I can broadcast this over Mixer, over YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. I think that's absolutely awesome. I don't know why more people don't do it. It just makes sense to me, just to give people the option of where they're listening from, and they can just jump in from wherever. So that being said, if you find this later, find a recording, that's fine. Just you can leave a message or what have you. But if you want to say anything or jump in, doesn't matter if you're watching this on YouTube or Mixer or whatever, just post your comment, I'll give it a read. So basically, Basically what I wanted to do with this sort of podcast is, like, and the same reason why I stream video games is because I really do like finding like-minded individuals to talk about video games and to discuss it, and I really think that Twitch especially has done that for me, because I did. It's not like I just wanted to just whatever. But it's just sort of like, it was really cool. Like, I started playing Theme Hospital, that's what I started off with, and I was absolutely amazed to see that in literally 2018 there was still people out there playing Theme Hospital, and I just think that's absolutely brilliant. And I think that's just real. It was a real nice surprise to see that so many people cared and were still doing that. And I actually met a few people, Decoded from early on really helped me out as well, and told me about 2 Point Hospital coming out, and then that was all I was streaming when that came out. I did get a comment from one person who's saying, like, oh, all you do is stream the same game. So I thought, yeah, you got a point. So I changed it up a bit, and so that's what I try and do now. I try and switch up a bit. At the moment, the main game that I'm streaming is Prison Architect, which I'm really enjoying. I'll talk more about that later. But I also We started Greedfall, which I'll also talk about later. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So it's been fun. It's been fun doing that. So why doing a podcast? Well, like I said before, it's great to find like-minded people, but I always wanted to interview people because I always love different kinds of interviews, no matter the format. Like I don't know if anyone's gonna get it, but I'm a huge fan of like wrestling shoot interviews and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to like hear real insight and into like different businesses and whatever. And I'd love to do the same for video games. So because I love listening to interviews, especially if the interviewer is very skilled. Because sometimes it's like you kind of listen to an interview and you kind of want to tell the interviewer to be quiet, let the guy speak, or why didn't I answer this question? And I kind of feel like, that's something I could do. So that's always been an ambition of mine, because there are people in the video game industry I would love to sort of interview. And like I said, I've got absolutely no traction, no followers or whatever. No one's listening to this, but I'm very like sort of orientated, like, hey, might as well. So I would really, if eventually, like the main ambition for this podcast is eventually to interview some of my favourite personalities in video game journalism, criticism, or influencers, or what have you. And I would like to. Yeah, it would be so cool if one day that could happen. But who knows? But this is mainly for my YouTube channel, where I'm just going to talk about just general subjects. And I just felt like this is the last day of the year. Just turn on the microphone and just talk, and that's what I'm going to do now. So the first thing that I really would like to talk about is Persona 5. Yeah. So my story kind of with the Persona series started with Persona 4, honestly, and it was really. Well, like I said, I'd never heard, at the time when Persona 4 came out, I'd never heard of Persona 3, I never heard of Shin Megami Tensei, but when Persona 4 came out, I thought it was like, it looked really interesting. Like, it's something that I've never seen in role-playing games. Like, usually when you're talking about JRPGs, it's like fantasy or science fiction based, and then it's like real fantastical. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, and I don't, and I'm not at all criticizing any of those genres, because there's tons of games that come out since and before then that I'm just discovering now, and they're all great, like Bravely Default. That's basically as quote unquote generic as fantasy RPGs get, but it's still really enjoyable to play. You've still got Fire Emblem going strong, even getting new Final Fantasies. So anyway, I'm rambling, but Persona 4 was an absolutely amazing game for like a number of reasons. So I think the main reason is it was such an immersive experience, because I think it was I mean, the concept of you being a superhero from the beginning, well, being a superhero and having a sort of secret identity at the same time, is something that's not generally explored in games. And I know that there might be other games that did do this, and I might sound foolish talking about it as if this is the one game that's actually done it. So, but it's just sort of like, in my opinion, it's just like it was such a new concept in Persona 4, and that was such an enjoyable experience. And I think the main thing I would focus on was the fact that even though I love dungeon crawling, I love games like Dungeon Siege, Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate. There was this one for the PSP where it was just dungeon crawling. Anyway, but I was more excited about the school stuff than I was about the dungeon crawling. Because in Persona 4, you get this character called Kanji. You rescue him from his dungeon, and then you get to spend time with him. You do get up to a lot of school hijinks and what have you. And when Risei's dungeon opened up afterwards, I was kind of like, oh, I wanted to do more school stuff. I don't want to have to dungeon crawl. I want to do this. And I think that was such a unique feeling that I had for the game. So I think it was mega immersive. When I sell it to people, what I say to them about Persona, any Persona game, is that it feels like you're starring in your own anime, and like you go on the episodes. There are comedic parts. There's action, adventure, romance, and it's like. It gives you that sort of immersion, and I think that's one of the keys of all video games really, but for Persona for the Persona series, I think that's something that's almost unique to them. Now I know like there's stuff like Wild Guns, and I'm always a fan. I'm not sure if it was Wild Guns, but it was like one of the JRPGs where like as you progress through the story, the intro at the beginning would change, and so I always found that like super interesting. And every time I booted up Persona 4, I always would watch the intro because it felt like I was tuning into my favorite anime and it was time for another episode. Oh, nothing happened. You're just dungeon crawling. Hey, that's you're just training. That sounds anime as hell to me. So that's really something. Anyway, so basically I never heard of Shin Megami Tensei or the Persona series before Persona 4. I picked it up. It was one of those video games that really change how you feel about video games, and it's just such enjoyment and satisfaction that you get from playing a good video game that you enjoy. It was definitely like, and I think every person on Twitch has that game where they play it and it's like, man, this is one of the greatest experiences of my life in like playing a video game. So it was basically one of my favorite games forever. And then there was talk of a fifth game, which I couldn't even sort of imagine. I thought, wow, that's going to sound awesome. And then this trailer drops. Well, like I said, this is PlayStation Europe, but yeah. So my feelings about like a Persona 5 game was like, oh my goodness, you speculate about the main characters, who's going to be the bad guy, what's going on, what have you, and I was so excited for this game. I remember they had this advertising campaign where it sort of like had those chairs, and it's sort of like, oh, you want to be emancipated? Like, yeah, sure. I go to work every day. That's something. I go to work I go to work every day, so so that's something. But I think that's absolutely like brilliant, like a fantastic thing. And it was just, I mean, look at the style here. Like, this is like almost unlike anything you've seen before. Well, okay, I'm exaggerating here, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of like style, finesse, the design, it's bold, it's sharp, it's just like, people watch that trailer, and I knew that this game was going to be a hit. I knew that this game was going to be like the big, because it was building. Because it's like I said before, I've never heard of Persona or Shin Megami Tensei, and I wasn't as deep into video games as I was now, but I knew that there was like something like special about this series, and like this was sort of like when I was like, okay, it's getting ready to burst into the mainstream, for good or for ill, whatever side you want to be on that. But absolutely fantastic. So my story with Persona 5 is that I remember putting in my pre-order, and I haven't ever pre-ordered anything before, and it was like, I knew that there was going to be a risk, like this game could suck or it could never come out, whatever, what have you. But I was so happy to pre-order this, and I could not wait for it to arrive. And when it finally did, when it finally came to pick up the game and brought it home, that was new. And the story of my game with this is that, okay, and don't judge me too much by it, but I did take a week off work so that I can play this non-stop. And yeah, I get it. It's I know that sounds bad. It's something I haven't done before or since, but I did. I took the entire day off work so I can play this game and enjoy it, and that was to me that was time well spent. So I think Persona 5 really knocks out the park in several ways. Like I said before, like the design is just absolutely amazing. The combat system was really good. Every single thing there was not a misstep in this. This was not a Def Jam icon game. This was, every decision they made was the right one. It was like everything fit together perfectly. I thought this game was absolutely amazing from start to finish, and you didn't feel. I think one of the things is like you didn't feel the pressure to try and do everything in your first playthrough, because I think that's like the main thing that I thought was going to happen. Like, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to. I'm never going to be able to see everything, get all the content, do everything, do all the social links or the confident links, and then. But no, you play it. You're super immersed. It's a great story. Really good dungeon crawling. I love the design dungeons. I thought that was because it's like you're jumping into paintings, you're going into spaceships. It was really almost like limitless in terms of like imagination and scope. And I think that's the main thing about Persona 5 is its scope. It's very, it's like, I mean, of course, in Persona, it is always about the entire world is going to be affected by this, and it's always a huge event. But I just felt like this is bigger, because I guess you're not in a small town, or you're not limited to a couple of islands, and it's just such a great experience. Now, so then. Of course, Persona 5 Royale's coming out. It's like an expansion for the game, and a lot of games released do this, where like there's the original version that comes out, and then a few years later you get the expansion version where it's like got more stuff, and it's to get more sales, get more bang for your buck, and I'm definitely gonna be purchasing it. I'm definitely gonna purchase it on the end of March next year, hopefully, God willing, because it's gonna be really good. Like I'm very interested in the new character. I've seen many different breakdowns of this trailer, and it's not bad. So it gives you. I think that you're going to get a real different perspective from the game, because you've got a few new characters really, and it's like I think it does offer enough to justify buying it again, because it's like I haven't played it all the way through since. Like I'm doing a sort of playthrough now, but it's just kind of like I don't know. I'm just kind of really speeding through it, because. On the second playthrough, you get to keep all your personas, which means that you're just blowing through dungeons like just super easily. But yeah, it's like a lot of new events, and I think Atlus does a really good job when it comes to providing new content and just sort of like really reminding people like, hey, this game was amazing. And I do think that Persona 5 is going to be one of those games that really stand the test of time. Like, I can see people playing this 20 years from now as a classic. The same way you would play Persona 6. Sorry, not Persona 6. Final Fantasy 6. The same way you would play Final Fantasy 6 now, and it looks great. It it plays great. I think Final Fantasy VI is really, really awesome, and Final Fantasy VII still going strong today. It's getting a remake, and it deserves it. It's one heck of a game, and trust me, people are absolutely hyped for it. But this is what I'm going to be hyped for in 2020. That's the that's the game I'm looking forward to. One of them. So yeah, I've seen many different breakdowns of this trailer about the new features, about the new settings, new visuals, and it's like, yeah, they put some good work into it, and it doesn't feel like cut content, which is always a plus. We all know this scene, but yeah, this definitely looks like it's going to be really enjoyable. I read a few articles on it, and there's nothing much more I can say really. It's just wow, spoilers. Sorry about that. I mean, okay, I'm gonna. I mean, it's sort of like if you spoil that Bruce Willis movie. He was the dad the entire time. So, but anyway, what I wanted to say about Persona 5 The Royale is that this is definitely one of the games that people are looking forward to, and with good reason. I'm definitely looking forward to it as well, because they're going to put some new personas in there that they're going to keep. I know that they're going to hold something back as well, so it's like there's going to be more stuff to discover, and that's going to be so great to watch. I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, this is video by Gamers Prey as well, so just giving them a bit of a shout out. Thank you for posting the new trailer for Persona 5 in HD. So that's always good. So yeah, so that's Persona. That's the Persona Royale, and I just think that's gonna be a real good game. And it's definitely one of the big things I wanted to look forward to. Really wanting to do like a YouTube video for it, just to sort of go into it. But it's one of those things where it's like you feel as if you feel as if it's all been done before. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is Prison Architect. Now, something happened this year where the development, it was the game was bought by was published by Paradox, but it looks like they swapped developers from Introversion Software to Double 11, who was like according to this posting it to the console and doing other stuff as well. But what's really good is that the expansions that they've dropped this year has really been, insanely brilliant. So Prison Architect to me is like, it's one of those games where it seems very simple on the surface, but as you get more into it, it just has a lot of depth to it, and there's a lot of stuff to think about, a lot of ways to strategy, and in your own way. And it's one of those really good games where you can decide what the outcome is, what the goal is. It's up to you. Do you want to build a prison that works? Do you just want to have fun, like in a Call Me Kevin kind of way? Or if you want to just design a really good looking prison, or a really functional prison, or just try stuff out and see what happens. I mean, the way I play it is sort of like, I started from the beginning with sort of the standard resources, and just sort of like expand slowly over time and see how much I can handle. And at the moment, what I want to do eventually is get to a point where I have 500 prisoners. I'm like, in my mind, it's the 500 prisoner challenge, where I want to have 500 prisoners, and then go ahead and see if I can make a prison that works for them. If you want to see how that's going so far, I do stream it as well. So check my Twitch for the schedule or whatever. I'm going to be probably. I think I got it. I think I'm doing. Well, I'm taking New Year's days off, and then I think on the Thursday, I think I'll be streaming that at 8 p.m. I think it is Prison's Architect I'm doing, but who knows? Who knows? I might just do it anyway. But yeah, it's a super super fun game, and they brought in this new patch called called Criminally Insane. So if you're what do you call it? If you're a Prison Break fan, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. So if you're like a Prison Break fan, then you you get the building with you get the haywire. You can have haywire in your game. That's pretty awesome, right? So it comes in with like new mechanics as well. So it's like an extra thing you have to juggle because they need sort of special attention because they get more stressed. They cause more problems. So you got to keep an eye on them, and you can't punish them too hard. Otherwise, it just makes things worse. And so I'm really enjoying sort of balancing that with the rest of the prison and everything else. And yeah, that aspect I really enjoyed. And really good on Introversion Software, because I think they've really taken this by the scruff of the neck, and they've really sort of shown what they can do. Double 11. I mean, Introversion Software, by the way, they're doing this other school game, which is sort of like Prison Architect. But I'm sorry. I mean, apologies there. I mean, Double 11 and Paradox Interactive, the new people that's handed over. Not to say that Introversion Software didn't do a great job creating the game originally, and the new school game is something that I'm definitely looking into. That looks like it's going to be very interesting game as well. But it's definitely been my most popular game on Twitch. Like, I think I've got more followers from that game than any other game, really. I think Oxygen not included and 2 Point Hospital definitely, because I've tried a multitude of video games and just never getting any traction or any interest. So I think I did really well with Prison Architect to really drum up interest. A lot of people are interested, and I get people over who just chat about the game, give me good tips, and show me some interesting things. So I think it's like really good for that, because there's so many different styles of play that this game allows. So that's always been extremely interesting to me. Also wanted to say as well that it's I don't know, I just think it's just so well designed, and it's like I think it should have more hype around it. Like, I don't know why more people don't stream it. Like, just don't have a big following, because it's such a open-ended game. So it's like, but anyway, I'm also really enjoying like some of the prisoners get like background and history from players. So like you're reading. Over here you can see like the criminally insane prisoners. I do have a lot of janitors. It's just that they don't clean often in there. But yeah, what was I saying? Sorry, I got like what was I saying before? Okay, I've forgotten. Oh yes, the histories, the biographies. Yeah, so basically you have like user created biographies, so you get some real funny stuff in there, like arrested for pirating video games and stuff, and he's been sentenced for 10 years. That gave me a huge chuckle. So that's been fun. And yeah, they've the new developers as well. They provided a lot of new content, which is super interesting, and that's been really really enjoyable, honestly. So that's definitely good. But yeah, that's definitely what I wanted to talk about Prison Architect for. So the next game I want to talk about, as you know, it has been Christmas recently. So what I've been been with the family, friends of the family, in-laws and everything, and basically, of course, Mario Kart is always big at our house. It is absolutely tremendous, but yeah. So, but another game that was a surprise hit with the family was I'm gonna show you here. It's a little bit too big. I'm just gonna show you it. It's Overcooked. Overcooked was a huge hit. It's a game that that's a very co-op. It's a very co-op game. It's a very good party game because I really wanted to bring in video games for the family that everyone was really going to enjoy, and I did want to like I said, I did want to bring I did want to bring a game that the entire family was going to enjoy playing and everything, and Overcooked was that game. Basically, if you know Overcooked, it's basically a cooking game. You basically have to work together on different types of kitchens to prepare food, but of course it's not as simple as it looks because there's a lot of different obstacles and everything. And the family had so much fun playing it. It was the family it was really good because we were just all channeling our inner Gordon Ramsays in order to try and get our point across. And it was just absolutely hilarious, us shouting at each other and try getting out each other's way. There's the ever peckish, a term that I now use for myself. I am ever peckish, but it's not really fitting on the screen on that. Anyway, so basically trying to work together, try and get the food out, and it's just all really enjoyable. And we got it for the Nintendo Switch, but it's on all different systems, which is so cool. And yeah, it was a really good game, and it's by Team 17. Team 17, the guys who do Worms, man. That was major part of my childhood, going back and forth. I had like a league going with like making your team, different teams, giving them all unique voices, and now they're back with another real fun team game, and yeah, I kind of think they really hit it out the park on this one, and I just wanted to sort of like, because I really wanted to talk about it, because it was like I was not expecting, because it's like I'm the only one in my family who's real big into video games, so it's really hard to try and get people involved, because it's like some of them, like I was trying to I think this was like the Christmas where I tried to teach my dad how to play FIFA, and and my dad's like super smart and like real hardworking and whatnot, but to see him sort of struggle to pass the ball around because there's so many different controls, and it's like you don't just press X, you have to press X in a direction, and do you want the ball across the ground, do you want to curve the ball, do you want to do a lob pass? It's amazing how you realize how some games are so complicated, and then you get Overcooked, which is basically 2 buttons and a D-pad. 2 buttons and a joystick. And that's all you need to play Overcooked. Overcooked. I got Shin Megami Tensei on the brain. I've got to finish that. I've got to finish it Overclocked soon. But yeah, it's real good. So that was actually a real fun game to play with the family. Real good challenge. It was a great balance of challenge and simplicity. Like, it's simple to play, but it's really difficult to play well, and I just think that's real fantastic tight game design. And yeah, if I was doing a game of the year list, I'll be 4 years too late, but gosh darn it, this definitely was a massive hit for me. So yeah, that was Overcooked. Now I do want to move on to a more sort of general sort of topics, and like looking forward to different aspects and everything like that. So in that vein, I want to talk about Greedfall for a little bit. Basically, Greedfall is an RPG by Spiders. Spiders who I think they did Mars Logs or something like that. Sorry, did not prepare for this at all. I just turned on the mic really. So basically, it's this real good game. It's kind of set in sort of colonial type times, which is very like you don't get much fantasy colonial games. Well, I say that, but it's like I'm not knowledgeable to too many games like this. It's sort of like even like Persona, where it's like it's set in a very sort of a more unique type world, which is very interesting. Oh goodness! So yeah, this is what I was streaming on Sunday, and what I'm going to start streaming on Sunday, even if I can't get any traction for it. But oh my goodness, what am I doing here? I'm trying to parry, and it's like I'm not doing it properly. I promise to practice parrying before I play again on Sunday and not embarrass myself. In any case, I found it. Yeah, this game's super interesting because it's. I really kind of like the sort of the system so far. I haven't even got out the starting area yet. I haven't even finished the prologue section. There's still a lot to do, but already I'm really enjoying the politics. Basically, recently in the recent playthrough, I had to expose this guy who was lying about the potion and that it can cure everything, and he was obviously lying about it, being a showman. And then you kind of discover that maybe he has good cause to be a bit of a scoundrel, and the guy you're working for, he's not such a good guy. But the interesting thing is that in a sort of lesser game, and I think I said this on the stream, but in a lesser game, you sort of either play like the goody two shoes or like a real morally reprehensible, horrible character. But at the same time, you try and play a good guy, but you look like an idiot because it's like, it's sort of like doing the right thing sometimes is inefficient or doesn't make much sense. So like you had the choice of whether to confront him about it, say like, hey, this guy, even though he's a crook, he's a grifter, he's a scam artist, but he told me some bad things about you, and I'm not sure if I'm on your side, and I let him go. Because I ended up letting him go, letting him escape. But, I did. But at the same time, I was able to sort of put up the front where, he slipped from my fingers. So now I'm still on side with the guy I was working for and the guy that I rescued. So in a sense, I'm kind of really hedging my bets here, depending on how the game's going. Because I know you're going to meet that guy later on in the game, and it's going to benefit you to keep him alive. But at the same time, you don't want the other guy to know that you suspect him to being a bad guy, because you don't want him working against you right away. So I'm hoping that gives me a sort of advantage to sort of play both sides here. And I'm very happy to see that this game lets you do that. Combat's like I said, combat's a little bit. I'm having difficulty parrying. I can dodge, but I can't parry. I don't know whether my timing's off. I don't know whether I'm pressing the right button or I'm looking for the wrong animation cues. But I'm just not able to parry at the moment, so that's just something I'm gonna have to live with. By the way, does my guy look like UFC former welterweight champion Tyron Woodley? Because that's what I was going for. Because he's one of my favourite fighters in the world. So I thought, yeah, put him in this game. To be completely random. It's the beard and the shaven head and the sort of features as well. I tried to do my best, but I don't know. Let me know. In any case, I thought that I'm really enjoying the start of this game, and I cannot wait until Sunday to start playing again. I don't know. I might change the schedule around to try and accommodate me playing again sometime. So I'm definitely up for this game. By the way, I find it really funny as well that you can immediately hit on your companion, because it's like you talk to him once and then you get this dialogue option that goes, "Oh, you're lonely," and he goes, "Hey, you want to do something about it?" I was like, not really, but very cool, very cool. You can do that from the off. It's like we know that Mass Effect exists, so we're just gonna let you do whatever. And I think that's when games are the best, when they kind of let you sort of role play. But yeah, I kind of feel like this character here, I feel like he's just a guy that just wants to do a good job and he wants to help people. And I know it's sort of boring, but it gives you endless directions of which way to go. So it's like I'm trying to craft him in a way where it's like he tries to use his words more than his weapons, and I'm happy to see where this goes. So very much enjoying Greedfall. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. But yeah. So that's Greedfall. Now, another game that I have to talk about now is Mountain Blade. And Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. I don't know about you, but every time I open Steam, I always get a message from Mountain Blade, like developer notes or something like that. And to me, it's just like, hey, this is just a reminder that this awesome game that you're looking forward to, yeah, it's not out yet. So just to let you know that you can't play this game yet. You can't even pre-order it. You can't. Actually, can you pre-order it? I might be talking nonsense here. Let me have a quick look, because I got it on my wish list. So I will know about it. I will know if something happens. Yeah, you can't even. It's not even on early access. You can't even early access this game yet. You can. Yeah. Apparently, it's also going to be released in March 2020. So March is going to be a big month for me in terms of video games that I really enjoy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I played the first game amazingly well. I played the first game. It was an amazing experience. I really enjoyed the different types of units that you get, because they all have different strengths and weaknesses, and the terrain as well, because a lot of this game is based on warfare, melee combat, tactics and stuff like that, and I can't get enough of that stuff. You can role play as Genghis Khan. You can do like a Roman sort of toy, or you can do like phalanx strategies, shield wall strategies, and the game rewards you for it. Like attacking, trying to attack someone uphill is not good. If you have cavalry and you're on the plains, you are almost unbeatable. So it's Mountain Blade, brilliant. I haven't started playing Fire and Sword, because that's another Mountain Blade game that's come out. I haven't started playing that yet, but that looks really interesting. Now, I know that I'm a few years behind. Like I'm not talking about the latest games here, but in terms of what I've been playing or what I want to play, but I feel fortunate that I live in a time in 2019 where I have like over 30 years of video games backlog to play, and looking forward, there are so many good games on the horizon that are coming out, and I'm definitely looking forward to Mountain Blade 2. There's a lot of memes if you go to the Reddit forums about like, oh, this game's never coming out, and it's just like, well, this isn't Star Citizen, you know what I mean? It's like you haven't paid anything yet, and it's definitely on its way. And let me tell you something, I don't usually buy early access games or games that are incomplete or pre-orders or stuff like that, but this is one that I am gonna be trying to play as soon as possible. I'm very interested in playing this, and it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Not sure if I'll stream it, because then again, I'm no I'm no stranger to embarrassing myself with my poor gameplay skills. Hey, listen, if I was a professional video game person, I'll be at games done quick. But no, I'm just a regular human being person. So, but yeah, so yeah. There's like a lot of new features as well, and this looks amazing because it's like you don't have to go into the village or something to pick these options. A different screen. It's very sort of everything's there. You can see like all your characters on screen, and it's not even looking too different. It didn't give this a complete visual overhaul. It's still familiar, and I cannot stress that enough. How great it is to have like a sequel that is still familiar. Like sometimes like game developers, they change too much, and so it's like it's not even the game that you played before. It's like a different game. For example, like the Def Jam series. Like I enjoyed Def Jam Vendetta. I love Fight for New York. That was awesome. And then Icon comes out, and it's like it's it's a completely different game. It's like, what did you do to it? So I'm very happy that Paradox as well. Is this? It's not Paradox, is it? Are they Paradox? Must be Paradox. 1 second. One second. 1 second. I have to double check this. I needed to be more prepared, but I'm not. But whatever. Sorry. Tailworld's Entertainment. Apologies there. I see a great game. I assume it's Paradox. So, but yeah, it was actually Tailworlds. So that was super interesting. So yeah, I think they've done an amazing job here. In my opinion, if the game's not done yet, that's fine. Absolutely fine. I have no problem with a developer taking their time. The only problem I would have with Star Citizen is that they've taken in so much money. And it's like, it seems like not a lot. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that. But it's just like, from the sidelines, it's just sort of like, what is going on there? That's my feelings on it. But my opinion is they should take as much time as they feel they need to. I think it is important that you eventually get it out, because it's just like, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You just might as well do it. It's sort of the same thing with me in this podcast, because it's like I wanted different features to it. I wanted to be extremely structured, and today I was just sort of like, just do it. Just get online, talk about anything, talk about any random thing, and here I am. And is it good? Is it bad? Probably bad, but I don't mind. I did it, and I will be doing another episode. I wanted this to be a weekly thing, but yeah, it looks like there's a lot of depth to it as well. Even more depth to the tactics. It looks like you spend even longer on sieges, so that's been really amazing to see. So yeah, I'm very happy to see where Bannerlord 2 is going. I just had to talk about this a little bit because every time I play a game on Steam, it pops up with something. So it's like yes, shut up and take my money. Just let me play this. So that's my feelings on Mount & Blade, and that's absolutely amazing. So the last thing I wanted to talk about today was I'm just going to play this. This is a video from GameSpot if they want to. Video from GameSpot. So yeah, this is the Xbox One reveal. I'm just gonna have this on in the background. So basically, I bought a PS4 because I wanted to play newer games and stuff like that. And have PS4, and the PS4 is gonna be useful for when I buy Persona 5 the Royale. And there's a lot of games on the PS4 that I want to play, and it's a Blu-ray player, so there's that as well. But I really wanted to buy an Xbox this year, and because I bought a Switch last year, so I can play like Zelda, Super Mario Odyssey, and Overcooked for the family, which I said before. But I really was thinking about buying an Xbox One, because I had an Xbox, I had a PS2, I had a GameCube all at the same time, and it was the most sort of fun I've had in a while. And sorry about that. And it was the most fun I had in a while. But you know, there's something about collecting. I know this is a super expensive hobby, and not everyone can afford all the consoles. But you know, I had a part-time job, so I did have money to burn at that time. But I was thinking, should I buy an Xbox One? And my answer was no, because it's like I'm not interested in playing Gears of War 5 or Halo 6 or I don't know, Dead Rising. It's like the exclusive games have not, you know, there hasn't been much hype. Well, I would say, yeah, there hasn't been much hype about exclusive games. You can get video games across almost all platforms, and if not, definitely on PC. There's always a PC port, and you know, people have even better PCs than they did back in the day. So I'm just like I was racking my brains going like because I was gonna go start scouting out what would be the best deal for the Xbox One and what games I was gonna play on it, and I realized it's like I don't need this console. This console serves no purpose to me, and I know that there are some first party exclusives, but they're just not sort of interesting. Like when I bought an Xbox, you know, and an Xbox 360 as well, there were actual there was actual games I wanted to play on it, and and to me I thought the Xbox 360 was a good system apart from the Red Ring of Death thing, which my brother at the time fixed for me. That was really cool, but I just don't know what purpose an Xbox One serves at this point. I mean, let's be honest. Like this year has been not fantastic for video games. Like I haven't been as plugged in to the video game scene as I was in previous years. So maybe that has something to do with it. But it just feels like there's a you know in mainstream in like first party games, I feel like there's been a sort of lack of real creativity. There's not been many games that really capture the imagination this year, and I might now, like I said, I might be sort of mixing like games up in my head. Like games I think came out in 2018 or 2017 actually came out this year, and then I have egg on my face because it's like, oh right, I right, I didn't think about that. But I think was Red Dead Redemption this year. I'm gonna go check. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 was this year. Um, no, it was 2018. Yeah, it wasn't even this year. Okay, at the moment, I'm typing into Google right now, best games of 2019, and I'm gonna click on like the first couple search results that I get because I haven't been as plugged into it, but I'll have a look. So I'm on Games Radar, and I'm just scrolling down. So you got Gears 5, whatever. Division 2, okay. Fire Emblem, okay, yeah. Fire Emblem, fine. That looks amazing. I haven't bought it yet. I have to wait till my next paycheck to get it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have no money for food. But yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses, yes. Borderlands 3, but that's like PS4 and PC as well. Kingdom Hearts 3, ooh, I don't know. Kingdom Hearts 3, people like, it depends who you talk to. Some people are like super disappointed and dislike the game, and other people love it. But that's just the thing with everything, isn't it? I mean, aren't us human beings just built just to disagree with each other? I mean, have you ever been in that situation where everyone's telling you about this great movie and and then you sort of start to feel, it's probably not that good. And then you see it and it's like, it's not good at all. So, yeah, maybe that's what Kingdom Hearts 3 is. Cadence of Hyrule, I don't know what that is. What the Golf? What the Golf isn't even out yet. Is What the Golf out there? No. Because I... Sorry, I'm discovering things. No, because I have that on my Steam wish list. It tells me, oh, it must be out for just Androids and stuff. It must be the PC port, right? Yeah, that looks super, super interesting and fun. What the golf. So definitely looking forward to that. What's that number? Anyway, let's have a look down the list. Metro Exodus. A lot of these are just like a lot of sequels and stuff. So it's like it's not been fantastic. And by the way, something I'm noticing as well, a lot of these games are multi-platform, which is good, which is great, because it means more people have access to it. But at the same time, it's like this just shows that having an Xbox and a PS4 is just not. It's just not. There's no reason for it. Pokemon Sword and Shield, that's pretty good. Yeah, not really anything. Like, I'm talking first party here. I'm talking about like main publishers, like really coming out with like main games. Like, you got a lot of supported by YouTubers like Untitled Goose and games like that. That's been pretty. I think creativity in like the indies has always been brilliant. So that's always been fun. Oh, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Yeah, that's innovative. Star Wars Jedi or Fallen Order. Actually, that's one. I'm actually going to look at that one. And then Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now, if you follow Giant Bomb, they interview like a bunch of people, and they all give their sort of lists of their top games. And I think Resident Evil 2 is on a lot of people's. The remake is on a lot of people's lists, which was quite interesting. So, yeah. I mean, if you like third-person shooters, then I think this was a great year for you, because there were like a ton of third-person shooter games. Not that I have a problem with third-person shooters, and I play a lot of third-person shooters, but yeah, it's not been great. But yeah, I just wanted to come and say like, hey, right, there hasn't been a lot of great new video games that really took the world by storm this year. But I think that's just the nature of where we're at in the industry. I mean, I don't think many risks have been taken, really. I think a lot of publishers have played it safe this year, which isn't a shame or anything. It's just that it hasn't. I just don't think when we look back on this, 2019 is going to be a marquee year in gaming. I think it's just going to be like, oh, that game came out, or that game came out. Oh, right, Catherine Through Body came out. I'm just looking at the video now, but I was going to check out Jedi Fallen Order. Because, yeah, this is probably like the last one I'm going to look at. The last one we're going to look at today before I tidy up. Going to wrap this up. I just want to start off by saying that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. My first Star Wars film was The Phantom Menace. I really enjoyed that. I watched the older films. I couldn't get enough of the lore. I couldn't get enough of the books. Prince Sizer, that I forget which book that was, but yeah, and most of all, the video games. Star Wars, the Phantom Menace game, KOTOR, Empire War, Republic Commando. There's so many genres. Battlefront. There's so many genres it covers. Star Wars is just like, the world of Star Wars is absolutely amazing. And by the way, on the films, I don't care. I saw Force Awakens. I felt, I didn't really feel that attached to it after seeing it. I was like, yeah, that was okay. I haven't seen The Last Jedi. I have no desire to see Rise of Skywalker, and that's fine. Like I said, I'm not actively going out my way not to see it, because trust me, if eventually someone's going to be watching on TV, I'm going to sit down with them and watch it, and that's going to be it. But the new sequel trilogy, I don't have much care for, really. But anyway, Jedi Fallen Order, it seems like an okay game. So it's going to be the first Star Wars game that I played in a while. I was looking forward to that Star Wars game that got cancelled when LucasArts got shut down, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, the, did did Telltale bite the dust this year, or was it last year? It was last year, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. 1 year on. Oh, right. Yes. Actually, now that I think about it, Telltale Games is actually back. Let me just have a look here. Telltale Games. I'm just gonna search here. Yeah, there it is. This is article by Polygon, by Colin Campbell, at Colin Campbell X, if you follow him on Twitter. But yeah. So Telltale Games, which bit the dust in 2018 because of reasons that everyone could see from a mile away. But I mean, trust me, I was a huge Telltale Games fan, and now now it's bitten the dust. So I did say I was going to finish with Jedi Fallen Order, but yeah, apparently it's coming back, and it's with the old guard, Jamie Otterly and Brian Waddle. So I think that's okay. No, it's not the old guard. Sorry, it's different people. Neither worked at Telltale Games. That's a shame, actually. Now I'm not that interested. No, I'm not that interested. I was gonna do like a video about Telltale Games and basically what my frustrations with it was, but it's been so well covered by different people that it's like takes the wind out your sails when you watch a video. It's like, oh, that's what I was gonna say, but I guess you said it first. But the main thing is that they, let's face it, they never updated the engine. They had way too many projects on the go. I mean, I think the main thing about video game design, I think, is finding what works and doing it again and again. And let me tell you something. The Walking Dead worked, and Wolf Among Us worked. I think Tales from the Borderlands. Those three are probably like the best games from Telltale, in my opinion. I think Game of Thrones. Oh my god, I love Game of Thrones. The books mainly. Some of the TV stuff is okay, but my goodness, did that video game was real bad, and there's so much love for that video game. It's unbelievable. It's like but yeah, we all have our opinions, so that's really cool. So I think that's gonna do it for this episode 0. It's just me talking about random stuff. I am hoping that I get more structured of stuff that I want to talk about. Like I want to do like a series on Shin Megami Tensei. That's going to be next week. I'm going to be talking about each the Shin Megami Tensei games I've played and what I liked about them, talk about different characters and themes and stuff, and that's what I kind of want the podcast to sort of be. Just talk about a little bit of news, a little bit about what I'm streaming, what I'm working on and stuff, and yeah, that's basically it for today. I'm gonna be continuing playing like mainly Prison Architect and Greedfall as well. So hopefully I get some eyes on that. But what I want to say as well, I'm also on Friday. I'm also doing RPG Maker. I'm going to talk more about it when it's there, but it's really good. I think a lot of good games was developed using RPG Maker, and I'm just going over a few tutorials now because I'm doing like a programming course. So I think this is going to be a good thing to start up. But if you're listening to this on New Year's, have a wonderful rest of 2019. God bless, and stay safe out there. And I hope you have a really good 2020. And